Have you ever wondered why big dreams often fade, while small habits quietly change lives? Why is it that some people seem to level up year after year, while others stay stuck despite their desire for growth? Here's the truth most people miss. It's not the giant leap, but the tiny steps that shape our destiny. And if you're tired of starting over, tired of motivation fading too fast, this message is for you. Welcome to the journey of mastering your habits, grounded in the wisdom of James Clear's Atomic Habits and fueled by the timeless discipline of Stoicism. If you're serious about self-mastery, self-improvement, and taking control of your life, subscribe now and join the movement.
1. Identity over outcome. Who are you becoming? Most people start with goals. I want to lose weight. I want to be successful. But what they often miss is the deeper question. Who do I need to become? This question changes everything. It transforms vague ambition into an inward journey. Goals can be shallow if they're disconnected from character. Without grounding your goals in identity, you risk chasing something that might not even fulfill you. You might lose the weight, get the promotion, or reach the milestone, only to discover you still don't feel like you, because you never asked who you were becoming in the process. James Clear teaches that habits are not just about what you do, they're about who you believe you are. Stoicism reinforces this idea. Marcus Aurelius didn't ask, "What should I achieve today?" but rather, "What kind of person should I be today?" That question reorients your life from chasing approval to cultivating virtue. Instead of reaching outward, you begin refining inward. Aurelius reminded himself not to expect the world to align with his desires, but to align his actions with reason and nature. You don't need to build an empire. You need to build character. When you align your habits with your identity, everything changes. Instead of saying, "I want to write," you say, "I am a writer." Instead of, "I want to be healthy," you declare, "I am the kind of person who takes care of their body." That shift is subtle but powerful. It turns your daily actions into expressions of your values, not just means to an end. Every decision becomes a reflection of who you are and a rehearsal of who you are becoming. Identity-based living doesn't depend on the scoreboard. It depends on inner congruence. It's not about faking it, it's about practicing it until it becomes you. Stoics didn't believe in empty affirmations. They believed in continuous effort. Practice justice, courage, moderation, and wisdom, not because the world demands it, but because you do. That's identity. When you show up to the gym, to your journal, or to your responsibilities, even when it's hard, you are not just performing an act, you are shaping a soul. Every day becomes a vote for the kind of person you wish to embody. Eventually, it's not something you try to be, it's who you are. That's the power of identity over outcome.
2. Systems, not just goals. Structure builds strength. Goals are great for direction, but systems are what get you there. Too many people focus only on the destination and forget that the road is paved daily. Goals give you a target, but systems give you traction. Without a system, you're left with hope. With a system, you have structure, and structure is freedom. It frees you from the chaos of decision fatigue and emotional inconsistency. You don't need to wake up and ask, "What should I do today?" Your system already knows. James Clear makes it clear. If you focus only on the outcome, you'll lose momentum. Stoicism agrees. Epictetus didn't teach us to obsess over results. He taught us to control what we can, our actions, our choices, our effort. The Stoic is not concerned with fortune, but with formation. He trains his soul like an athlete trains his body, daily, methodically, deliberately. You can't control whether you get the job, but you can control whether you prepare for the interview. You can't control whether people praise you, but you can control whether you act with integrity. Want to be productive? Build a system of deep work. Want to get fit? Design a system of daily training and simple eating. Want more peace? Create a system of morning silence and reflection. The best systems are simple, repeatable, and emotionally sustainable. Don't make it fancy, make it functional. That's the Stoic way. Systems aren't glamorous, but they are grounding. They hold you up when motivation collapses. They don't wait for the mood, they wait for the clock. Your environment should make success easier. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. That means shaping your space, schedule, and social circle to support the person you are becoming. If you want to read more, place a book on your pillow. If you want to eat better, keep junk food out of your home. Systems are not just habits, they are habitats. They are the scaffolding that allows your character to rise without the constant strain of willpower. Structure doesn't limit your freedom, it protects it. 3. The power of 1%. Compounding discipline. Change doesn't have to be dramatic. In fact, the most powerful changes are often invisible until they aren't. We're conditioned to look for leaps, breakthroughs, and big wins, but true transformation is quiet. It's the 1% improvement, repeated daily, that compounds into radical difference. The problem is that small wins don't feel rewarding in the short term. They feel insignificant. But insignificance is a disguise. It hides the truth that your future is being built in the margins of your day. Improve by just 1% every day, and you'll be 37 times better in a year. That's not magic, that's math. It's the compound effect in action. Just like interest grows in a bank account, your habits grow your identity, confidence, and ability. Stoicism echoes this with daily discipline. Seneca once said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Every small action you take is a vote for the kind of person you wish to become. You don't become wise overnight, you accumulate wisdom one reflection at a time. Wake up early, read a single page, make your bed. It may feel insignificant, but you're reinforcing identity, stacking consistency, and building inner strength. These aren't just tasks, they are rituals of self-respect. When you keep a promise to yourself, even a tiny one, you prove to your mind that you are someone who follows through. That kind of trust compounds. Each repetition is a rehearsal of greatness. Not flashy, not loud, but true. Greatness is built in the shadows of daily routine, not in moments of glory. We admire the Stoic philosopher, the athlete, the artist, but what we don't see are the quiet repetitions behind their excellence. The pages written when no one was reading, the reps done when no one was watching, the meditations made when the world was asleep. You don't need to change everything. You need to change something. Today. And then again, tomorrow. That is the power of 1%. It's not about perfection. It's about momentum. Discipline compounds, and so does identity. 4. Environment shapes behavior. Design for success. Want to change your life? Change your environment. Too often, people attempt to improve themselves through sheer willpower, not realizing that willpower is a limited resource. No matter how motivated you are in the morning, that energy gets drained by decision fatigue, distractions, and stress throughout the day. That's why your environment matters more than you think. It silently influences your choices when your strength wavers. If your workspace is chaotic, your thoughts will be disorganized. If your home is full of temptations, cookies on the counter, games on the screen, clutter everywhere, you're swimming upstream, fighting against a current of triggers. Real, lasting change is not just about internal resolve. It's about constructing a world around you that naturally encourages the behaviors you want to repeat. By shaping your surroundings, you reduce the friction between intention and action. You no longer rely on brute force, you rely on design. James Clear emphasizes the power of cues, the triggers that lead to behaviors. If your phone is in reach, distraction wins. If junk food is on the counter, willpower is tested. But if your journal is open, if your gym shoes are by the door, you make it easier to act. This isn't just theory, it's habit architecture in practice. Your brain responds to signals in your environment long before you become consciously aware of your decisions. That's why a visible cue, like a water bottle on your desk, reminds you to hydrate. A meditation cushion in the corner nudges you toward mindfulness. If you want to read more, leave your book on the pillow. If you want to eat healthier, keep fruit visible and snacks hidden. It's not about being disciplined 24/7. It's about letting your space do some of the heavy lifting. Make the right choice the easy choice. Instead of trying to resist bad habits, make them inconvenient. Instead of trying to force good habits, make them inevitable. Behavior follows design, and design begins with awareness. The Stoics knew this too. They didn't just train the mind, they shaped their world to avoid excess, clutter, and noise. Their philosophy wasn't only about mental strength, it was about intentional living. Marcus Aurelius wrote in a sparse environment. Epictetus lived with the bare essentials. Seneca, one of the richest men in Rome, practiced voluntary discomfort to inoculate himself from excess. These thinkers understood that indulgence weakens the spirit and that distraction corrupts focus. The Stoics didn't wait for clarity to arrive. They created the conditions where clarity could emerge. Their environments reflected their values: simplicity, order, self-discipline. This wasn't asceticism for its own sake. It was freedom through structure. A quiet room becomes a sanctuary for thought. A simple wardrobe eliminates indecision. A routine workspace cues the brain for productivity. Just as a sculptor chisels marble to reveal form, the Stoic chisels life to reveal virtue. Your surroundings are either your ally or your enemy. Design your space, your time, and your relationships with intention. The truth is, you're never neutral. Every object in your space, every sound in your day, every person in your circle either pulls you forward or holds you back. Clutter steals mental bandwidth. Toxic people corrode your self-worth. Bad lighting, excessive noise, constant notifications, these aren't just annoyances. They're barriers to focus, growth, and peace. The way you spend your time and shape your space communicates what you value. If your bedroom is for scrolling instead of sleeping, you're telling your brain to stay wired, not rest. If your mornings are chaotic, you've already lost momentum before the day begins. But when you design with intention, setting boundaries, decluttering distractions, and aligning your space with your goals, you stop reacting and start creating. You live on purpose instead of by default. When you control your environment, you reclaim your freedom. This is the paradox of discipline. It doesn't confine you, it liberates you. A well-designed environment is like a good coach. It pushes you without saying a word. When your world supports your aspirations, you no longer need to force growth. It flows. You're not trying to break bad habits, you're simply not feeding them. You're not struggling to start new routines, they're built into your daily rhythm. Freedom isn't the absence of limits. It's the ability to choose what matters most without being hijacked by impulse. By owning your environment, you take back control from chaos. You shape the invisible forces that shape you. In the end, transformation isn't just internal, it's architectural.
Number 5. Never miss twice. Recovery is power. Nobody's perfect. You'll slip. You'll miss a habit. But the difference between failure and growth, it's what you do next. One of the most damaging myths in self-development is the idea that progress is linear and perfection is attainable. But life isn't clean like that. It's messy, unpredictable, and full of detours. Everyone stumbles, even the most disciplined. What separates the successful from the stagnant isn't the absence of failure, it's the presence of recovery. The faster you bounce back, the more momentum you retain. The difference isn't in talent or motivation, it's in your ability to respond to setbacks with grace instead of guilt. When you understand that lapses are inevitable, you stop dramatizing them. A missed workout isn't a character flaw. A bad day doesn't undo weeks of good. But if you let shame take over, you spiral. Instead, develop the mental muscle to say, that was yesterday, this is now. Your ability to recover quickly is your real superpower. James Clear shares the golden rule, never miss twice. One missed habit won't destroy you. 2 can become a pattern. 3 becomes your identity. This principle is powerful because it resets your focus on continuity over perfection. Missing once is normal. Life happens. Schedules break, energy drops, but when that first miss turns into 2 or 3, it's no longer just a blip, it's a trend. That's how identity forms. The danger isn't the initial slip, it's the story you start telling yourself afterward. I guess I'm not a disciplined person. I always fall off the wagon. These narratives harden into self-concepts, and self-concepts drive behavior. By committing to never miss twice, you interrupt that spiral. You replace perfectionism with consistency. You anchor your identity in effort, not outcomes. You don't let a bad moment turn into a bad week, then a bad habit, then a way of life. You make a clean break and keep moving. The Stoics never demanded perfection. They taught resilience. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. The wise man isn't flawless, but he is relentless. Stoicism at its core is a philosophy of endurance and internal strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote not as a man who had mastered all emotions, but as a man wrestling with them daily. He wrote to remind himself of what he aimed to become. Epictetus didn't teach avoidance of pain, he taught mastery of response. Resilience to the Stoics is not about pretending everything is fine, it's about refusing to let setbacks define you. The Stoic doesn't crumble under guilt or self-pity, he accepts the fall, learns from it, and rises stronger. If you adopt this mindset, you stop fearing failure because you realize it can't stop you. The Stoic path isn't smooth, it's steep and jagged, but every step back is fuel for the next step forward. Resilience isn't about avoiding storms, it's about learning to sail through them. If you mess up, reset. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for motivation. Reset today. Because every day is a fresh vote. Every choice is a clean slate. The secret to long-term change isn't found in epic resolutions, it's found in small, immediate resets. Waiting for the perfect time, Monday, next month, the new year, only reinforces procrastination. The truth is, the next right moment is always now. Whether it's 9 a.m. or 9 p.m., you can begin again. Every action you take casts a vote for the type of person you want to be. One skipped workout doesn't make you lazy, but showing up the next day casts a powerful vote for your resilience. You don't need to erase yesterday's mistakes, you just need to outnumber them with better choices today. This is how identity change works. You don't become disciplined in one day. You build that identity brick by brick, choice by choice. Resetting quickly doesn't mean you failed. It means you care enough to keep going. And that commitment, over time, builds unshakable self-trust.
Small habits, big change. That's the truth few want to hear, but the only one that works. Build identity, create systems, embrace slow growth, shape your world, and recover fast when you fall. This isn't just about self-help, it's self-mastery. It's the Stoic path. It's atomic habits in action. If this resonated with you, don't just nod, act. Like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who's ready to rise. Because in the end, it's not what you do once, it's what you do daily that defines you.